Welcome to Infinite Novel. Dive into epic alternate realities. All rights to original creators.
Chapter 1, Chapter 01 Double Contrast Viewing, coming to the top Marine Headquarters, Marineford. This crescent-shaped island, with the majestic Marine Headquarters building standing in the middle, is surrounded by a large number of defense fortifications. Cannons protrude from the fortifications, resembling countless fierce beasts showing their ferocious fangs on the outskirts of the island. Hundreds of marine warships block the entire Marineford. Especially at the opening of the Crescent Harbor, there are dozens of large warships built with the most advanced technology, forming the strongest naval defense line. Today this island appears to be very crowded. Marine elites from all over the world have gathered here to deal with the possible appearance of the Whitebeard Pirates at any time. Below the main building, a tall execution platform was set up. On the execution platform, Gol D, Ace, the 2nd Division captain of the Whitebeard Pirates, is being held. Not only are the 3 Marine admirals stationed in front of the execution platform, the Shishibukai, who were called upon, are also ready to fight under the order of the world government in a tense atmosphere. Sengoku revealed Ace's true identity. This scene was broadcasted directly to various parts of the world through the video Den Mushi soon. The large fleet belonging to the Whitebeard Pirates appeared at sea immediately after. The main ship of the Whitebeard Pirates, the Moby Dick, and 3 escort ships surfaced directly from the Crescent Harbor and entered the scene. Standing on the deck of the Moby Dick, Whitebeard shouted loudly, "Gururara, Ace! My son, are you okay, Dad?" When Ace saw Whitebeard, his emotions instantly calmed down. Damn Whitebeard, he actually used this method to break in directly. On the execution platform, Sengoku watched this scene and his face instantly became serious. Gururara. Whitebeard laughed loudly and put down his naginata. He clenched his fists and then his 2 muscular arms crossed each other forcefully. Not good. He's going to attack. Oh no, he is using his Quake Devil Fruit ability. It was obvious that the Marines did not expect Whitebeard to waste any time and attack as soon as he arrived. The next moment Whitebeard smashed his fists to the sides. Creak cracks instantly appeared densely in the air on both sides of him. Boom boom boom, a terrifying explosion came on both sides of the Marine headquarters. 2 waves several hundred meters high rose into the sky, covering the sun. It's a tsunami. In an instant, the faces of the Marines all changed drastically. Aokiji. Sengoku shouted loudly. Understood. Marine Admiral Aokiji rubbed his head. What a troublesome situation. He clapped his hands on the seat. Ha! Akainu and Kizaru both looked at him at the same time. Aokiji's eyebrows instantly twisted as he is confused as to what happened in that instant. He realized that his Devil Fruit ability, Haki ability, and physical abilities were all gone. He couldn't even leave his seat. Boom boom boom. At this moment, the sound of thunder suddenly resounded through the sky. Ding! Comparison broadcast system activated, retrieving relevant characters. Ding! Comparison broadcast chat room are being activated and inviting participant. In the sky, a huge screen suddenly appeared. This screen was divided into 2 parts, with a white border on the left and a red border on the right. Whitebeard, is this your ability? Can the Quake Fruit's awakening actually shake the world? Feeling the tremor from just now, Marine Fleet Admiral Sengoku's face turned pale with shock. That kind of power was definitely not something trivial. It was like the whole world had been struck hard by a giant hammer. If it's not the Quake Fruit, then what else could it be? Whitebeard's confusion in his heart right now is no less than Sengoku's in that instant just now. The power of his activated Quake Fruit actually disappeared instantly. Even the hundreds of meters high tsunami that had risen on both sides retreated at this moment. Sengoku, are you stupid? Can that thing in the sky be the effect of the Quake Fruit? Can my Quake Fruit create a giant screen spanning the sky? Are you overestimating me? Ding! Relevant participant have been retrieved. Ding! All participant can freely chat in the chat room and participate in the comparison broadcast quiz to win prizes. Prizes will be awarded to the top 3 participants that answer the quiz correctly. The prizes are diverse, including, but not limited to, Devil Fruits, physical abilities, swordsmanship abilities, Haki abilities, physical talents, physical attributes, magical items, resurrection items, etc. Please actively participate and strive to win the prizes. Note, during the comparison broadcast period, the world will be enveloped in an energy confinement field, and all abilities and actions cannot be activated. Everyone does not need to worry about anything. The world is at peace at this moment. The voice of the sky resounded directly in everyone's minds. Everyone was stunned. What? The world is confined? And there are prizes? Even resurrection? Wait a minute. Why is there resurrection? Gol D Roger, chat room? What's that? Hello, is anyone there? Chapter 2, Chapter 02 Did Luffy love booger picking so much when he was a child? Roger? Isn't this the guy who died over 20 years ago? When Roger's voice appeared in the minds of many individuals, everyone was shocked. Rox D, Xebec, Roger. Damn it, you bastard, I'm here. Hiss. Rox. Everyone was shocked once again. How come Rox has also appeared and their voices all directly appeared in their minds? Combined with the announcement that resounded in everyone's minds just now, everyone realized that this matter was not simple. Shiki, kahahaha. I never expected that, even after death, consciousness could be restored. Although the soul is drifting in a void, being able to speak with like this is really great. Gol D Roger, huh? Golden Lion, you're also dead. Shiki, yeah, I just died a little over 20 years after you. Gol D, Xebec, damn it, you two don't take me seriously. Gol D, Roger, what? Have I been dead for that long? But Shiki, what year is it now? Shiki, you idiot, do you think I would know what happened after I died? Who knows what year it is? Sengoku, that bastard might have been buried for hundreds of years already. Gol D, Xebec, damn it, Golden Lion, I'm talking to you. I should have killed you first when I felt something between you and Roger back then. Gol D, Roger, oh, you're right. Speaking of which, Sengoku, that old bastard has done so many despicable things, he probably won't live much longer. Shiki, that's for sure. Sengoku, damn it. You two bastards, shut up. I'm still alive and well. Sengoku originally wanted to observe quietly. After all, with his mentality, he naturally wouldn't rush to interrupt, but Shiki and Roger's way of speaking was too infuriating. Even though Sengoku's mentality was stable, he couldn't help but speak up. Gol D, Roger, give it up, Sengoku. Death is not something to be embarrassed about. If you speak here, do you still have the face to say you're alive? Kojiki Odin, exactly, those who can speak here should all be dead. Gol D, Roger, Odin? How come you're also dead? With your strength, plus your position as a Wano country shogun, even if the Marines wanted to deal with you, they would have to back down, right? Kojiki Odin, it's a long story. Anyway, that idiot Kaido couldn't defeat me head-on, so I don't know if that guy is dead or not. Kaido, humph. A defeated man is just a defeated man, don't talk about conspiracies and tricks. Also, let me tell you, I'm not only alive, but my main base is on Wano countries in Nagashima. Gol D, Xebec, Kaido. You little brat. Where were you when I, your captain, launched the Battle of God Valley? Why didn't you participate? Kojiki Odin, damn it. Kaido, is what you're saying true? Edward Newgate Odin, what he said is true. Gol D, Xebec, damn it. Kaido, Golden Lion, you two have some guts. I'm talking to you. Kojiki Odin, Whitebeard. Gol D, Roger, Whitebeard, are you dead? Or are you alive? Edward Newgate Gururarara, of course I'm still alive. Sengoku didn't lie to you, he's also alive. Gol D, Roger, what? This old bastard can still survive? Whitebeard, find a chance to beat him up for me. Edward Newgate Gururarara. No problem with that. I'm at the Marine headquarters right now. If it weren't for this damn screen suddenly appearing, we would have already started the war. Gol D, Roger, what? You went to attack the Marine headquarters? Hey, what's going on? Shiki, kahahaha. Well done, Whitebeard, you still have the style of your old self. Edward Newgate Gururarara, you're still a bit behind compared to me. You single-handedly stormed Marine headquarters, but I brought over 20,000 people with me. Kojiki Odin, wow. Whitebeard, are you planning to overthrow the Marine headquarters? You truly are amazing. Gol D, Xebec, Whitebeard, you little bastard, you've grown so big. Sengoku, humph. Overthrow Marine headquarters? You're thinking too much. Today next year will be Whitebeard Pirates Memorial Day. Kojiki Odin, bullshit. My big brother Whitebeard will definitely defeat you. Sakazuki, you've been dead for so many years, you trash. Stop interrupting. Kojiki Odin, who do you think you are? Sakazuki, I am a Marine Admiral, specializing in killing you pirates. Gol D, Xebec, damn it. Is there anyone who will pay attention to me? Do you all treat me like a dead man? Gol D, Roger? Aren't you? Gol D, Xebec, damn it. At this moment, the voice of the system suddenly echoed in everyone's mind again. Ding. Video content loaded. Ding. Video about to play. Ding. Countdown begins. 10, 9, 8. As the countdown sound rang out, the border of the huge screen spanning the sky kept flickering, attracting a lot of attention. Soon, the red screen temporarily dimmed, while the white screen became brighter. 3, 2, 1, movie begins. At the moment the countdown ended, a clear image appeared on the white screen on a sunny hillside. Several spacious wooden houses are situated together, enclosing this hillside into a simple estate. In front of the main house, several bandits are facing a burly old man in a black suit. Next to the old man is a 7-year-old child wearing a straw hat, lazily picking his nose. Borsalino, isn't that Mr. Garp? Gol D, Roger, Why are they showing Garp's image? Does he have such a good reputation? Cusin, Mr. Garp is a Marine hero, so he definitely has a good reputation. Suru, this is Garp with his grandson. Nami, that nose-picking cutie is actually Luffy. Vinsmoke Sanji, did Luffy love picking his nose like that when he was a child? Monkey D, Luffy, what? It's really me. This is the day my grandpa took me to Dodden's house. Chapter 3, Chapter 03. Roger, wait, you said his name is Ace? Why are Garp and Luffy appearing on this giant screen that spans the sky? Seeing the content on this screen, many people are confused. Could it be that Garp made this thing? But that's not right. Everyone knows that Garp doesn't have a devil fruit. Monkey D, Garp, why is the matter of me fostering Luffy being revealed? Strange, the video is so clear. If someone had taken a secret video nearby, my observation hacky should have noticed him. Sengoku, indeed, it's impossible for someone to secretly take a video at such a close distance without you noticing. It seems, this screen is not something that humans can achieve. Gol D, Roger, what? Are you still doubting the capabilities of the screen? Even I, who has been dead for over 20 years, can communicate with you all. Why are you still doubting this and that? Sengoku, nonsense. Who can guarantee that you are real and not fake? Gol D, Roger. Oh? Then, how about I tell the story of how you, as a lieutenant commander at the time, escaped using a set of women's clothing during the Battle of Rika? Sengoku, shut up. Shiki, what? There's also this story? Roger, quickly tell us this part. Charlotte Linlin, ha ha ha, I'm also very interested. Borsalino, tell us in detail. Sengoku. Suru. Sakazuki. Borsalino, whoops, I accidentally fell asleep just now. I don't know what nonsense I was talking in my dream. Everyone. The voices in the chat room continue to echo in everyone's minds, but the screen continues to play without any pause. Soon, Garp explained some things and entrusted Luffy to the bandit Dodden, asking Dodden to train him into a qualified marine. Kid, from now on, you'll be helping out and doing chores for me. After Garp left, Dodden forgot about Garp's instructions. Who is this kid? A boy with a sparrow-shaped birthmark on his face yawned and walked out of the house. He glanced at Luffy with an annoyed expression. He was sent by your grandpa, called Monkey D. Luffy, probably your little brother, right? Dodden looked at the boy with the sparrow-shaped birthmark and patted him on the back of his head, then said, you'll be responsible for taking care of him and helping out together with him, sent by grandpa? The boy sneered and then grabbed an iron pipe and ran off. Hey, wait for me. Take me with you. Luffy followed and chased after him, disappearing in an instant. Ah, they're really alike. Dodden shook her arm in frustration, then looked at the bandits beside her. What are you all still standing around for? You guys take care of their tasks. Luffy went to chase after Ace, but not only did he fail to catch up, he ended up running into a hornet's nest and got swollen on the spot. The next day, Ace still didn't want to pay attention to Luffy, and the two of them staged a scene of I run, you chase. Again Luffy still couldn't catch up, and when crossing a river, he almost fell into the mouth of a crocodile. The third day, the fourth day, the fifth day. Luffy has never been successful, always inexplicably getting into various dangerous situations while chasing after Ace. It can be said that 7-year-old Luffy jumps back and forth on the edge of death every day. Doflamingo, ha ha ha, this kid, his vitality is really strong. Lucky Roo, Luffy is really hardworking. Shanks, ah ha ha, indeed, but it's just a bit too tragic, ha ha ha. Monkey D, Luffy, Shanks. How are you? Shanks, haha, Luffy, I'm doing well, how about you? Monkey D, Luffy, I'm doing well, very well. Luffy doesn't want to mention too much about his own predicament. Gold, Roger, Shanks. Finally, I hear you speak. Shanks, Captain, I was just enjoying your conversation with your old comrades, so I didn't interrupt. It's been a long time, I really miss you. When Shanks was on Roger's ship before, Roger took great care of him. Even, before Roger turned himself in, he entrusted his straw hat to Shanks. This entrusted item is not just a simple gift, but Roger entrusted his dream to Shanks. Roger told Shanks some things about the rubber fruit and hoped that Shanks would inherit his will and become the next pirate king. Gold, Roger, how did you handle the task I entrusted to you? Shanks, I didn't do it. However, I found a more suitable candidate. Gold, Roger, good. I trust your judgment. Roger didn't ask any further. He wouldn't be foolish enough to ask for the name of the so-called more suitable candidate in a chat room. Monkey D, Garp, Roger, what kind of riddle are you playing? Tell us. Gold, Roger, ha ha ha, it has nothing to do with you. But Garp, these two kids in the video are your grandsons, right? Speaking of which, your eldest grandson is really mischievous, almost killed your youngest grandson with a rock. He's just like you. Monkey D, Garp. Monkey D, Luffy, damn it. Even if you're the Pirate King Roger, I won't allow you to speak ill of Ace. Gold, Roger, ha ha ha, you're really attached to your brother. It seems like your brother's name is, wait a minute, what did you say? Your brother's name is Ace. Suddenly, Roger heard the name Ace and instantly realized something. And, from the words of Dodden just now, it can be heard that the young man with the sparrow mark on his face was also brought by Garp. And when Roger's own child was not yet born, he entrusted the child to Garp. Although Roger had never seen what his child looked like, he named him Ace. Upon hearing the name Ace and connecting it with other factors, Roger's emotions couldn't remain calm. Monkey D, Luffy, of course. He is Porgas D, Ace, my brother. By the way, I am the man who will become the future Pirate King. Chapter 4, Chapter 04 Rocks. Roger, you also want to be Garp's son? Porgas D, Ace. When these words were spoken, Gold, Roger's heart skipped a beat. If it were just the name Ace, it might have been a coincidence of the same name. But Porgas D, that is the surname of his wife Rouge. There is no doubt, this Ace is his son, Ace. My son? Just now, he was saying that this kid was mischievous, intentionally mocking Garp, but it ended up mocking himself? Sengoku, originally, I planned to announce Ace's identity after the war started, but now that Roger has appeared, I'll just say it. The 2nd Division captain of the Whitebeard Pirates, Fire Fist Ace, whose full name is Porgas D, Ace. Porgas D, Ace, shut up. Sengoku, Porgas D, Ace, say the name of your biological father. When these words were spoken, Roger became excited. Finally, he would hear his son call him Dad, right? However, Porgas D, Ace, my dad man's name is Whitebeard. Gol D, Roger, what? Edward Newgate, Gururarara. Sorry, Roger. You know, my crew members are my family. So, Ace is my son, it's only natural, right? Rox D, Xebec, ha ha ha. Yes, it's only natural. Ace is Garp's grandson, so by the same logic, you, Whitebeard, are Garp's son, which is also only natural, right? Shiki, pft, kak. Charlotte Linland, mahahaha. Edward Newgate, humph. Rox. All you can do is rely on your silver tongue. Gol D, Roger, no. Rox D, Xebec, what's wrong? One Ace's father, one Ace's grandfather, what's wrong with what I said? Finally getting attention from others, Rox felt comfortable now. Gol D, Roger, I am Ace's father. Ha! When these words were spoken, everyone was dumbfounded. They stood there in a daze for several seconds. Rox D, Xebec, what do you mean? Roger, do you also want to be Garp's son? Charlotte Linland, mahahaha. Damn, I just realized today that you guys, a bunch of idiots, are so talented in speaking. Monkey D, Garp, enough of this. Since it's come to this, I'll just say it. Ace is indeed Roger's flesh and blood, and I was the one who took him in and raised him. When these words were spoken, the whole world was shocked. The young man who was about to be executed on the execution platform was actually the son of the pirate king, Roger. No wonder the Marine headquarters went to such lengths to publicly execute him. No wonder Whitebeard was willing to start a full-scale war with the Marines to come to the Marine headquarters and rescue him. So that's how it is. In this moment, everyone understood the reason behind the outbreak of this war. Suru, Garp. Sengoku. Zephyr, ah. Kuzan, Mr. Garp. Borsalino, what? This too. Sakazuki, bastard. As a Marine hero, how could you do such a thing? Sengoku, Sakazuki. Hold your tongue. Porgas D, Ace, nonsense. My old man is only one person, and that's Whitebeard. Porgas D, Rouge, Ace. Porgas D, Ace, mother. Although Ace resented his own bloodline as a pirate, he knew very well about the fact that his mother carried him for 20 months and understood the greatness of a mother's love. Porgas D, Rouge, Ace, believe me, Roger was a great hero. As your parents, we apologize for not being able to be with you for even a single day. But no matter what kind of rumors you have heard, please believe me, your father is definitely not a bad person. Gol D, Roger, Ace. Porgas D, Ace, forget it, I don't want to discuss this anymore. Anyway, my life is coming to an end. Gol D, Roger, what do you mean? Ace, even if you don't want to acknowledge me as your father, there's no need to be so downhearted. You can continue being Whitebeard's son. Monkey D, Garp, Roger, things are not as you think. Ace is currently being held at the Marine headquarters execution platform, and he's about to be executed. Gol D, Roger, what? Garp, you bastard, I trusted you so much, entrusted Ace to you, and you sent him to the execution platform. Rox D, Xebec, ha ha ha. Roger, what's your tone? How can you speak to your father like that? Gol D, Roger, Rox, shut the hell up. Monkey D, Garp, Roger, I wanted to train him to become a Marine, but in the end, he chose the path of a pirate. Rox D, Xebec, of course. The descendants of us pirates should become pirates. Unlike you, Roger, you're a disgrace to us pirates by recognizing a Marine as your father. Charlotte Linland, Captain Rox, talk more, stir the pot. At this moment, Roger completely ignored their banter. Gol D, Roger, Whitebeard, you just said you're currently at the Marine headquarters, is it because of this? Edward Newgate, that's right. Roger, don't worry, Ace is your son, but he's also my son. I will save him. Rox D, Xebec, oh Garp's two good sons are expressing their brotherly love. Gol D, Roger, Whitebeard, then what are we waiting for? Use your quake fruit to turn the Marine headquarters upside down. Edward Newgate, that's indeed my plan. If it weren't for this damn screen suddenly appearing, the tsunami I caused earlier should have already destroyed the Marine headquarters. Kuzan, are you a bit too confident? Sengoku, Whitebeard, don't think too highly of yourself. Once this thing is over, it will be time for you to die. As everyone listened to the verbal sparring, they suddenly realized that the large screen in the sky had changed. They saw that the screen with the white border suddenly dimmed, while the screen with the red border became brighter. Chapter 5, Chapter 05 inadvertently revealing the ABS covered with armament hacky. The big shots are arguing, but it doesn't affect others. Normal chat. Usopp, the screen with the white border just now seemed to be centered around Luffy. What will the screen with the red border play now? Frankie, just now was the captain's video, now it's our crew's video, right? Super Scratchman what's there for a little crew member to show off? Maybe this screen is a transition for the supernovas. Just now they showed the Straw Hat Kid, now it's time to show other supernovas. Eustace Kid, it would be best to show my glory. Trafalgar Law, Kid, stop dreaming. The Straw Hat Captain obviously has a trait that you don't possess. Maybe the following play will still be centered around the Straw Hat. Eustace Kid, Law, shut up. Believe it or not, I'll crush your head with my bare hands. Trafalgar Law, with your meager strength, I don't think so. Capone Beat, originally, we were going to watch the Summit War, but unexpectedly, we're being forced to watch something else. I'm actually looking forward to what will be played next. Originally, today was the date of the Summit War outbreak, and there is a large-scale live screen at Sabayati Archipelago. These supernovas have already found the best positions to enjoy the show. But then this new screen suddenly appeared. As the screen with the red border completely lit up, the video appeared. On a sunny hillside, several spacious wooden houses are situated together, forming a simple estate in front of the main house. Several bandits are facing a burly man in a black suit beside the man. There is a 7-year-old child wearing a straw hat, lazily picking his nose. The scene is exactly the same as before. Marco, wasn't the scene played just now? Or did I lose my memory? Yozu, it's probably not that you lost your memory, because I remember it being played too. Izu, why is the scene exactly the same as before? Hawkins, don't worry, let's keep watching. We'll definitely find the reason. Rox D, Xebec, could it be that they're playing with us? Just as everyone was puzzled, something different happened in the scene. Who is this kid? In the scene where Ace appears again, he still has that disdainful expression. He glanced at Luffy, then picked up an iron pipe and left. Luffy also glanced at Ace. This guy looks so carefree, he doesn't seem like he'll amount to anything. With just a casual glance, Luffy shifted his gaze away. Porgas D, Ace, huh? No, Luffy isn't like this. Monkey D, Luffy, that's right, this definitely isn't me. I wouldn't badmouth Ace like that in my heart. Shiki, is it possible that it's actually another version of you from a different world? Monkey D, Luffy, another world? What are you talking about? Shiki, kahahaha. I was just guessing. Hawkins, it's not impossible. It seems that Garp, Ace, and that female bandit are no different from before, only this Luffy is obviously different. Nami, why does this Luffy seem more mature than our Luffy? Vinsmoke Sanji, haha, aren't you going to play with him? Dodden is surprised to see that Luffy is ignoring Ace. According to her guess, since they are similar in age, they should easily be able to play together. Time is precious. It would be foolish to waste it by playing around. My grandfather sent me here to train, not to play house with these little brats. Luffy smirked and casually shook his head. Usopp, what? Luffy actually said something like that. Trafalgar Law, hey, the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates and the Red Border is quite cool when he speaks. Porgasti Ace, even though I know he's not the Luffy I know, listening to his tone, I really feel like punching him. Monkey D, Luffy, don't worry, Ace. I won't be as stupid as him. Monkey D, Garp, you bastard. What nonsense are you spouting? Clearly, the actions of the Red Border Luffy is correct. If you worked as hard as him, you would at least be a Marine Vice Admiral by now. Monkey D, Luffy, Grandpa, anyone can talk. I don't believe he can actually achieve anything through training. Hey, who let this little guy speak like an adult? Since your grandfather sent you here, starting from today, you'll be doing odd jobs for me. Don't expect to eat and drink for free. Dodden clenched her fists. In fact, she was just saying that. If Luffy slacked off, she wouldn't blame him. Don't be ridiculous. Didn't I say it already? Time is precious. I need to train. I'll come back during lunch. Oh, make a lot of food, because I can eat a lot. Luffy waved his hand and walked towards the nearby mountains. Ah, this is so infuriating. I have to teach him a lesson today. Dodden also has a temper. This kid acts like he's the boss here. She immediately commanded 2 strong bandits next to her to teach Luffy a lesson. Of course, these 2 are Dodden's trusted subordinates, and they know the severity of the situation. They just need to give Luffy a slight punishment. The 2 strong bandits rolled up their sleeves and approached Luffy with a fierce look. When people saw the 2 bandits on the screen about to teach Luffy a lesson, many of them took pleasure in his misfortune. Let's see how you act now. You're going to get beaten up this time. Ding! Entering the prize question segment. Question, what will Luffy do next? A. Refuse to give in and get beaten up. B. Invoke the name of his grandfather Garp, making the 2 bandits feel fear and retreat. C. Fight against the 2 bandits and earn their respect. D. Accidentally reveal his 8-pack ABS covered in armament haki, scaring the 2 bandits into giving him a massage. E. Kneel down and beg for forgiveness, admitting his mistake and asking the 2 seniors to spare him. Chapter 6, Chapter 06 Devil Fruit Early Awakening Sengoku answering the quiz. Can we really get the rewards that were mentioned before? Rox D. Xebec, why do you care so much? Just pick one and be done with it. I choose C. I think this kid is someone who never backs down. Gold, Roger, the D choice is ridiculous. Armament haki at the age of 7? Unbelievable. I choose A. Edward Newgate Gururera. Just pick one randomly. I choose E. Monkey D. Garp Whitebeard, are you dreaming? This Red Border Luffy doesn't look like a coward at all. I choose D. Edward Newgate 8-pack ABS? Armament haki? Garp, are you the one dreaming? Monkey D. Luffy, I'll go with my grandpa's choice. I also choose D. Suru, I choose B. Jun, I also choose B. That Luffy over there seems calm, so he will probably take the simplest and most effective approach. B has a high probability of being correct. Charlotte Linland B. If I remember correctly, the first 3 correct answers will receive rewards. Vice Admiral Tsuru, Vice Admiral Momuzagi, and me, all 3 are B. Kaido, Puft, Shiki, Kek. Akoku, indeed, it's 3 Bs, no problem at all. Tsuru, Big Mom, you idiot. Sengoku, I'll go with C. Eustace Kid, I choose A, haha. Trafalgar Law, I'll go with D. Who knows, maybe that straw hat captain over there really does have 8-pack ABS. Capone beat 8-pack ABS. Why don't you say 8-pack pectoral muscles? Back to the video in front of a Japanese-style wooden house bathed in the morning sun as two people approached. Luffy casually placed his hands on his waist, inadvertently revealing his 8-pack ABS. And of course, the black substance covering those ABS? This scene appeared, and everyone watching the video suddenly widened their eyes. Damn! Armament haki, huh? In that scene, as a gust of mountain wind blew by, Luffy's red jacket was lifted even higher, fully exposing his 8-pack ABS covered in armament haki. That's right, it's armament haki. Everyone immediately confirmed it. You see, mastering armament haki alone is not a talent that can shake the world, but someone who mastered armament haki at the age of 7 is definitely a monster. Moreover, from this video footage, they can only see that the red border Luffy mastered armament haki at the age of 7, but they don't know when he first mastered it. Maybe he learned it at the age of 7, maybe at 6, maybe at 5. Hiss. Everyone dared not think further. Monkey D, Luffy, huh? Did I really train armament haki at the age of 7? At this point, Luffy has already broadened his horizons on 9 Snake Island, so he naturally knows about armament haki. It's just that, he hasn't learned it yet. Kyuzin, hey, this must be a joke, right? Even Garp, the old man, didn't train armament haki at the age of 7, right? Monkey D, Garp, that's right. I trained armament haki when I was 10. Gold, Roger, you bastard. You're just showing off. Shiki, training armament haki at the age of 10, Tisk, truly a monster. Tsuru, looking at it this way, if Luffy trained early, it doesn't seem impossible for him to master armament haki at the age of 7. Zephyr, yes, after all, he has Garp's genes, so his talent can't be bad. Rox D, Xebec, damn it, are Garp's genes really that strong? Two bandits approached Luffy, and when they saw Luffy's armament haki ABS, their faces twitched. What are you doing? Luffy calmly looked at the two. Hey there. Luffy, you're about to train, it must be tough, so let us give you a massage first. That's right. A massage. So comfortable under the intimidation of the 8-pack armament haki ABS, the two bandit strongmen instantly turned into massage masters. Clearly, the correct answer is D. Tsuru, didn't Garp choose D just now? If there are rewards, Garp should have one. Monkey D, Luffy, and me, I chose the same as my grandpa. We both can get the rewards. Kaido, ha. Are you monkey family guys so easily fooled? Do you really believe there are prizes? Shiki, you're laughing for no reason. This screen can even restore the consciousness of us dead people and producing some magical rewards. It's not surprising at all. Kaido, you old dead man, you talk too much. Just then, the voice of the screen suddenly sounded. Ding! The top 3 winners of this prize quiz are Monkey D, Garp, Monkey D, Luffy, and Trafalgar Law. Congratulations to the 3 of you for winning the rewards. Congratulations to Monkey D, Garp, rewarded with 15 years of youth. Congratulations to Monkey D, Luffy, rewarded with the awakening of the devil fruit. Congratulations to Trafalgar Law, rewarded with a one-time immortality surgery with no side effects, which can be used on anyone, including oneself. Chapter 7, Chapter 07. Whoever kills Doflamingo, I will perform immortal surgery on him. Holy shit. When people heard that Garp's reward is to become 15 years younger, many couldn't remain calm. Sengoku, Tsuru, Charlotte Linlin, Whitebeard, and others, who wouldn't want to be young again? Even if it's just a few years younger, it would be great. But now Garp has directly become 15 years younger, which is enough to make them envious and jealous. Gold, Roger, Garp is 15 years younger? So now he's 14 years younger than me. Rox D, Xebec, that's right, now you have a father who is 14 years younger than you. Gold, Roger, are you king kidding me? Shiki, you too, go argue somewhere else. Whitebeard, aren't you at the Marine headquarters? Take a look at Garp and see if he really became 15 years younger. This matter is very important. If Garp really became 15 years younger, then it means that the rewards mentioned by the screen earlier are all true. Shiki remembers very clearly that there was a resurrection item mentioned in the rewards. If Garp can become younger, then does he have a chance to be resurrected? Edward Newgate, you didn't need ask me, but I was just about to see it. That guy Garp really seems to have become younger. At least that's what I see. Monkey D, Luffy, Grandpa. Did you become younger? Monkey D, Garp, haha. Yeah, Luffy, Grandpa is now strong and healthy. Do you want to try Grandpa's beloved fist? Gold, Roger, Garp, is it true? Monkey D, Garp, it's true, I'm not joking. Dracul Mihawk, indeed, Garp has clearly become much younger. This screen is truly amazing. Gold, Roger, great. I want to answer. I want to be resurrected. I want to personally save my son. Shiki, ha. I want to be resurrected too. Roger, let's be resurrected together and overthrow the Marine headquarters. Over 30 years ago, Shiki had wanted to join forces with Roger to dominate the world, but he was heartlessly rejected by Roger at that time now. The opportunity has come. If Roger can really be resurrected, he will definitely storm the Marine headquarters to save Ace. And all Shiki has to do is take advantage of the situation and wreak havoc at the Marine headquarters. Rox D, Xebec, resurrection. I am the one who can be resurrected. Damn it, those bastards who betrayed me back then. And those lazy bastards who didn't do any work. I won't let a single one of them go. Marshal D, teach, what's the big deal about resurrection? Even if you're resurrected, you'll still die when you reach a certain age. The real treasure in this round of rewards is that Kid Trafalgar Law's Eternal Youth Surgery. Monkey D, Luffy, Trafalgar Guy, what's Eternal Youth Surgery? Trafalgar Law. Rorano Zoro, idiot, just by hearing the name, you can tell it's a surgery that can make people immortal. Tsuru, under normal circumstances, Eternal Youth Surgery is the ultimate surgery that caused the user of the Operation Devil Fruit to die if he use it. But if it's an Eternal Youth Surgery without side effects, then the significance is different. Kaido, Surgery Kid, sell this surgery to me, name your price. Charlotte Linlin, you fool. Is this about money? It's like as if anyone can't come up with billions of berries. Law, perform the Eternal Youth Surgery on me, and I'll be your mother-in-law. From now on the sea, I guarantee no one will dare to bully you. Vista, with our dad around, it's not your turn to be strongest Big Mom, right? Trafalgar Law, become our dad's son, it's much better than being Big Mom's son-in-law. Yozu, that's right. If our dad can be immortal, our Whitebeard Pirates will be invincible. Sengoku Razananti, are you there? Try to persuade Trafalgar Law, don't let the opportunity of Eternal Youth Surgery fall into the hands of the wicked pirates. Don Quixote Razananti, I'll give it a try. Law, if you already have your own ideas, then follow your own thoughts. If you don't have any candidates, then you can use this opportunity of Eternal Youth Surgery on Sengoku. To me, he is like a father. Gold, Roger O. Sengoku actually has a secret child. Monkey D. Garp. Sengoku, who is the mother of your child? Tsuru, you fool, Garp, can't you understand the meaning of like a father? Trafalgar Law Razananti. Trafalgar Law, I promise you, if there is no other suitable candidate, I will use this opportunity of eternal life surgery on Sengoku. Razananti is the most important person in Law's life. Since Razananti has spoken, Law will definitely not refuse. Shiki, what? Sengoku is going to obtain eternal life. Akoku, that Sengoku, he's actually using interpersonal relationships to morally blackmail. How despicable. Rox D, Xebec, bah. Shameless Sengoku. Charlotte Linlin, damn it. Sengoku, do you have no shame anymore? Capone Big, who is this Razananti? Why does Law listen to him like this? Eustace Kid, his name is Don Quixote Razananti, sounds like he has the same surname as the heavenly Yacha of the Shishibukai Don Quixote da Flamingo. Ha ha ha. Kid, you're right. He is my younger brother. Kaido, shut your mouth, clown. No one wants to hear you claim kinship. That kid who can perform the surgery. Tell me, what conditions do I need to meet to have the opportunity for eternal life surgery on me? Speak up. Sengoku, Kaido, stop dreaming. Law is a good kid, he just went astray as a pirate. I have already decided, as long as he is willing to join the Marines, I will personally nurture him to become a pillar of the Marines. Shiki, oh ho ho, look how desperate you are when it comes to shamelessness, it has to be you, Sengoku. Gold, Roger, bah. Truly shameless, Sengoku, humph. Even if you try to tarnish my reputation, it's useless. Law, this child, has justice in his heart at first glance. Law, after the summit war is over, find a safe place to stay, I will personally come to pick you up. Trafalgar Law, Sengoku, although I promised Razananti before using this on you, I do have a more suitable candidate. As soon as these words were spoken, the entire chat room burst into laughter. Shiki, kekekek. Sengoku, are you about to cry now? Gold, Roger, haha. I guess he'll be confused first, and then cry later. Edward Newgate, Gurururara. Law, well done. Charlotte Linlin, this candidate must be me. I will be your future mother-in-law. Kaido, what nonsense are you thinking? Sengoku, it's alright, Law, just follow your heart. Sengoku may still be saying beautiful words, but his heart is bleeding. Damn it. Where did this person come from that is more important than him, even more influential than Razananti's words? Damn it. Stay calm for now, and then slowly plan Trafalgar Law. Well, let me make it clear. Whoever can kill Doflamingo will have this opportunity for eternal life surgery. What the F *** K. Marine headquarters, Doflamingo instantly became furious. Chapter 8, Chapter 08 Sengoku, run to me, I will protect you. Just now, when Trafalgar Law received this reward, Doflamingo was extremely excited. You see, Trafalgar Law's op fruit was the fruit he wanted obtained back then. Originally, he planned to let his own younger brother, Don Quixote Razananti, eat the op fruit, but it ended up being eaten by Trafalgar Law due to a twist of fate. Afterwards, Doflamingo did everything he could to make Trafalgar Law return to the Don Quixote family. His intentions were quite obvious, he wanted to obtain eternal life. But because he personally killed Razananti, Trafalgar Law not only didn't return to the Don Quixote family, but also swore to kill Doflamingo in his lifetime to avenge Razananti. So, after Doflamingo realized this, his excitement quickly turned into unease as he looked at the conversation in the chat room. He already had a foreboding feeling in his heart. He knew very well how much Trafalgar Law hated him. In short, as long as he could kill him, Trafalgar Law would be willing to do anything. When Doflamingo realized that Trafalgar Law held an ace in his hand, his unease soared again, turning into panic. And now, when Trafalgar Law proposed this condition, Doflamingo's state of mind exploded. It really exploded. Doflamingo was absolutely furious. This damn screen really knows how to pick its timing. It came at the start of the Summit War, neither too early nor too late. There are at least double-digit numbers of powerful individuals present who can kill him. Although he belongs to the Marine camp in this war, Doflamingo is not foolish enough to believe that the Marines will help him. It's eternal life we're talking about. No matter who it is, no one can resist this temptation. By killing Doflamingo, they can obtain the opportunity for the eternal life surgery. If given the chance, absolutely no one would refuse. He looked at his current position and his face turned even darker. On the left and right sides, adjacent to him, are Gecko Moria and Dracul Mihawk respectively. And on the other sides are Bartholomew Kuma and Empress Hancock. Not to mention anything else, just these 4 people are enough to bring him to his death. On the high platform behind him, the 3 Marine admirals are seated. Doflamingo estimated that once the restrictions on this movie system are lifted, it's likely that magma, ice, and laser beams will come roaring towards him. In addition to this, on the front battlefield, the Whitebeard Pirates are watching closely. It's a sure death situation. Rox D, Xebec, just kill a person? That's too simple. Kid, wait until I revive, I'll help you kill him. Gol D, Roger idiot, what are you thinking? Do you think you're worthy of such a good opportunity? Sakazuki, Doflamingo is currently at the Marine headquarters. This matter doesn't concern you pirates. Don Quixote Doflamingo, hey. Admiral Akainu, what do you mean by this? The Marines invited me to deal with pirates, and now you want to betray me? Fleet Admiral Sengoku, aren't you going to do something about it? Sengoku, Sakazuki, shut up. The Marines would never do such a treacherous thing. Doflamingo, listen carefully. Once the prohibition on this screen is lifted, run towards me. I will make sure no one harms you. Shiki, kahahaha. Sengoku, do you think Doflamingo is that foolish? Run towards you? Hand his own head to you. Gecko Moria, that's right. If you go to Sengoku, he will definitely kill you. But I'm different. We are both Shishibukai. If you have a chance, came near me, and I promise to safely take you out of the Marine headquarters. Moria brought Absalom with him to participate in the Summit War. Absalom is one of his subordinates and has the ability to turn invisible. From the moment they arrived at the Marine headquarters, Absalom has been in an invisible state to prevent any danger to Moria. If Moria is in danger, Absalom will immediately turn Moria invisible and escape with him. And now, this backup plan undoubtedly can also save Doflamingo. Of course, was Moria genuinely trying to save Doflamingo? Obviously not. Moria knows that if he immediately attacks Doflamingo, he won't be able to get his hands on his head. If he can rescue Doflamingo, then the situation will be different. With Doflamingo's trust, he will have a chance to obtain his head. Doflamingo glanced at Gecko Moria beside him. Don Quixote Doflamingo, Mihawk, someone like you wouldn't involve yourself in such a boring matter, right? Dracul Mihawk, boring? This is an opportunity to obtain eternal life. I have no reason not to take action. Damn it. Doflamingo's face immediately turned dark. This person is capable of killing him. What's even more dangerous is that they are standing right next to each other. Boa Hancock, that brat Law, listen carefully. I will also take action. Make sure you watch the live broadcast at Sabayati Archipelago. Maybe it will be my attack that delivers a fatal blow to Doflamingo. Borsalino, humph. Are you ignoring of the speed of light? I also want to join in the fun. Doflamingo's heart sank. Damn it, it's over. Chapter 9 Chapter 09 This kid has a lot of background. Marie joys in the Pangaea Castle. There is a very large room called the Hall of Power. The 5 old men representing the highest power in the world have a very serious expression at this moment. After the advent of the screen, they have tried various methods but cannot escape from this imprisoned state. The current situation is a bit bad. The eternal surgery has actually been brought up. The golden-haired elder, Saint Shepherd Jupiter, stared at the large screen in front of him and said with a serious expression, "The large screen in the Hall of Power is connected to the live broadcaster of the Marine headquarters. From here, they can directly observe the situation at the Marine headquarters." Saint Ethan Baron V. Nesujuro's gaze deepened as he looked at the other 4 people. We must not let this opportunity for the eternal surgery fall into someone else's hands. We must intervene forcefully. Forceful intervention? How do we intervene? The straight-haired 5 elder, Saint Marcus Mars, moved his chin and shook his head. No one can resist the temptation in this matter. Haven't you noticed? Even the Marines want to get their hands on this opportunity. What should we do then? No one can have immortality beside Imoema. Are we just going to watch it fall into someone else's hands? Saint Ethan Baron V. Nasujuro say with a deep voice. Before the two could further discuss, the round-headed 5 elder, Saint Topman Warcury, directly interrupted their dispute and said, "Let's put the matter of the eternal surgery aside for now. The most important thing at the moment should be the awakening of that fruit." As soon as these words were spoken, the other elders' expressions changed. Indeed, none of them expected that the devil fruit, which had not awakened for 800 years, would awaken again. Moreover, the way it awakened was beyond all their expectations just because that kid casually answered a question. The mythical Zoan human fruit model, Nika, awakened. Damn it, isn't this too casual? Saint Shepherd Jupiter pondered for a moment. Imusama must have seen this situation as well. When the prohibition of the screen is lifted, Imusama should give us instructions. We can only wait. The other 5 elders also had serious expressions. At this time, the red border screen in the sky gradually dimmed in its place, a white border screen lit up. Time passes day by day. Luffy follows Ace, braving all kinds of hardships and adventures every day. Although he often gets beaten up, he lives happily. In the town of Windmill Village, the Red Hair Pirates have been stationed here for over a year. Luffy often comes to the town to help Dodden buy things, and through this, he has become acquainted with the Red Hair Pirates. Charlotte Linland, this kid, as Garp's grandson and Dragon's son, is also so familiar with Shanks. It's interesting. Edward Newgate, I didn't notice until you mentioned it. His father is the leader of the Revolutionary Army, his grandfather is a Marine hero, and he also familiar with the youngest 4 emperors. This kid has quite a background. Shiki, no wonder they specifically play his footage. It should be noted that Shiki fell to his death after being defeated by Luffy in the air. Originally, he was still very dissatisfied, but now, looking at it this way, he can accept it. Damn it, he died at the hands of the Chosen One. Monkey D, Garp, damn Shanks, why did a big pirate like you specifically go to a place like Windmill Village? If it weren't for you, my grandson might have become a Marine by now. Tsuru, although Shanks wasn't a 4 emperors at the time, he was already a famous pirate in the New World. There was really no reason to stay in such a remote place for over a year. Watching the situation on the screen, Vice Admiral Tsuru's eyes narrowed, and he began to ponder. Shanks, just playing around. Isn't being a pirate all about being carefree? If you're comfortable somewhere, why not stay a little longer? Is there a problem with that? Why did he go to Windmill Village back then? Rather than saying it was Shanks' own decision, it's more accurate to say that it was guided by the mythical Zoan human fruit model, Nika, in some mysterious way. That feeling is hard to explain. At that time, on his way to East Blue, many things seemed normal at the time, but now, looking back, they seem strange. For example, the wooden box containing the devil fruit was swept into the sea by a storm, and they chased after it for hundreds of miles. Or getting lost inexplicably and then discovering that it was not the destination they originally intended to reach. In a series of coincidences, they ended up in Windmill Village. And then, inexplicably, they stayed there for a year, and as a result, the devil fruit was inexplicably eaten by Luffy. If you think about it carefully, Shanks always felt that this was not a coincidence, but that the devil fruit actively chose Luffy. Chapter 10 Garp, let's swap grandson. On this day, in the Windmill Village bar, Luffy was mooching food and drinks from the Red Hair Pirates. He noticed a wooden box next to Lucky Roo and curiously opened it, only to find a fruit inside covered in mysterious patterns. This looks pretty tasty. Luffy didn't think much and grabbed it to eat. Dracule my hawk, that should be a devil fruit, right? He's eating it so happily. Gecko Moria, he. To eat a devil fruit so boldly, this kid has some guts. Trafalgar Law, indeed, as the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, it's the first time I've seen someone eat a devil fruit without even furrowing their brows. Capone Beeg, speaking of which, when I ate the castle fruit, it felt like I was eating shit. Scratchman Apu, a baba. I totally agree. Rorano Zoro, so this is how Luffy got his devil fruit. Nico Robin, it's indeed quite absurd. Marie Joy's between powers. Red hair. Saint Ethan Baron V. Nusjuro's eyebrows instantly twisted into a character 4 River angrily shouting. Saint Marcus Mars narrowed his eyes, his expression serious. Damn it. Did the red hair snatch the devil fruit back then? Was it a coincidence that this kid ate it, or was it intentional? Whether it's a coincidence or intentional, Imusama will definitely not allow him to continue growing with his devil fruit ability. Saint J. Garcia Saturn reminded. At this moment, the big screen did not continue playing the aftermath in the bar, but switched to Luffy's daily training. Seeing the scene, in the sea area near the Marine headquarters, Shanks let out a sigh of relief. It's a good thing they didn't show the scene of him getting hit by a small bandit king with a bottle of alcohol, otherwise it would be embarrassing. And if they showed the incident of the Sea King biting off his arm, that hawk-eyed guy would probably mock him to death. Not bad, the screen is giving me face. Shanks secretly said. In the days that followed, the Red Hair Pirates left Windmill Village. Luffy also set his goal to set sail and become the Pirate King. Day after day, Luffy continued to train himself and often challenged Ace, but he always ended up losing badly. 7 years later, Ace set sail. 10 years later, Luffy set sail. At this point, the big screen with the white border gradually dimmed. Basil Hawkins, looking at it this way, Straw Hat Luffy's strength wasn't that strong when he set sail. In just a few months, he actually grew to become a supernova on par with us. Urage, the training this guy did before setting sail was really mediocre. Capone Beeg, this Luffy wasted a lot of time, yet he still became a supernova. And the Luffy next door already mastered armament haki at the age of 7. How terrifying will his future strength be? Trafalgar Law, no need to worry. According to the playback pattern of these two screens, it should be time for the video of the other Straw Hat Captain. Gold, Roger, why isn't it playing yet? I'm really looking forward to the performance of that Luffy kid over there. Shanks, ahaha, Captain, our Luffy over here is pretty impressive too. At this moment, the big screen with the red border gradually brightened. Soon, the video appeared. Time passed day by day, and Luffy's daily life was very regular. In the morning, he went into the mountains, and in the evening, he came back. His training method was also very simple and rough. For armament haki training, he directly punched the mountains. For observation haki training, he would deliberately provoke a group of wild beasts, putting himself in the midst of their attacks, relying on observation haki to continuously dodge the beasts' attacks. On this day, he returned earlier than usual. Little Luffy, haven't you trained yet today? Bandit Dodden glanced at the clock on the wall and asked in confusion. Luffy glanced at Dodden, wanting to say something but hesitating. He had encountered a bottleneck in his recent armament hacky training and couldn't further improve, but there was no one around him who understood hacky training, which made him very distressed. Dodden walked over. "Little Luffy, what's wrong? Even if you encounter something unsolvable, you should speak up and see. Maybe I can help." Luffy sighed. "Dodden, do you understand armament hacky?" Dodden twitched at the corner of her mouth. "Do I look like I understand?" "It's nothing, I'll figure it out myself." Seeing Dodden's reaction, Luffy knew the answer. He got up and prepared to go to his room. "Wait," Dodden stopped him, as if she had thought of something. "There's a group of pirates in town. I heard they're from the Grand Line. If you want to inquire about hacky training, maybe you can ask them." "Pirates." Hearing this, Luffy didn't get excited, but furrowed his brow. "Why would pirates be in town? Why didn't you mention this when my grandpa was here?" If his grandpa were here, as long as he made a move, all the pirates would be wiped out. Luffy had been following Garp since he was little. Sometimes when Garp was on a mission, he had to bring Luffy on the warship, which allowed Luffy to witness many ruthless and evil pirates. It was precisely because he had seen the cruel side of this world from a young age that Luffy understood the law of the jungle early on. He trained hard from a young age, not because he had any noble ideals, but because he didn't want to become someone else's victim in the future. Although he wasn't interested in becoming a marine, his impression of pirates was also not good. He looked at Dodden and earnestly advised Dodden, "Since there are pirates in town, you should also avoid going to town. Pirates are ruthless killers." Trafalgar Law. "Luffy, as a pirate captain, is it appropriate for you to say that?" Monkey D. "Luffy, Traffy, look carefully, it was the red border Luffy over there who said it, not me Frankie, wahaha. The red border Luffy over there seems to have a very bad impression of pirates. Could it be that he's going to become a marine?" Nami, from his tone, "It's very possible." Monkey D. Garp, Can this screen swap the characters on both sides? I'm willing to exchange one grandson for the grandson on the other side. Monkey D. Luffy, Grandpa. Loved this story? Hit subscribe and join Infinite Novel to be the first to catch new chapters. Chapter 11 Shanks teaches Haki. After listening to Luffy's advice, Dodden felt warm in her heart. She thought to herself, little Luffy always looks unwelcoming to strangers, but I didn't expect him to be cold on the outside but warm on the inside. Not bad. Luffy, your impression of pirates is poor because the pirates your grandfather pursued were all extremely wicked and evil people. So, the ones you see are naturally the scum of the pirates. In fact, not all pirates are bad people. I think the pirates in this town are not bad people. I've inquired about them, and they have been here for over a year without causing any trouble. On the contrary, they have helped many people. Luffy, if you only ask about the training methods for Haki, I think they would tell you if they knew. Monkey D. Garp, Dodden. What nonsense are you talking about? Dodden, are you kidding? Did I say that? What does another Dodden's actions have to do with me? Monkey D. Garp, sorry, I made a mistake. This damn comparison broadcast is really annoying. Eustace Kid, did I hear it right? The Four Emperors pirate group helped the villagers in this small town. Shanks, Kid, do you have any questions? Eustace Kid, don't think that just because you're one of the Four Emperors, I'll be afraid of you. In the future, I will also become one of the Four Emperors. Charlotte Linlin, ha ha ha. The words of these little guys nowadays are so funny. It puts me in a good mood. Kaido, they haven't experienced the beating of the new world. After a beating, all their ideals will be gone. Edward Newgate, Gurururara. It's good for young people to have ideas, but in this vast sea, it ultimately comes down to strength. Marshall D. Teach, old man, don't mock people's dreams. A person's dream never ends. Edward Newgate, teach. A guy like you who kills his comrades, do you even deserve to talk about dreams? Marco, teach, you bastard. Porgas D. Ace, teach, I will definitely catch you and clean up the Whitebeard Pirates. Marshall D. Teach, ha ha ha. Ace, you can't even protect yourself, so don't talk big. Save your energy, because once the comparison broadcast ends, you will be executed. Edward Newgate, humph. Teach, give up on that idea. As long as I'm here, Ace won't die. Marshall D. Teach, zay ha 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 ha. In the Windmill Village, Luffy arrived at the bar run by Makino according to the address given by Dodden. Oh, brat, you're so young, and you want a drink? Lucky Roo was the first to notice Luffy and grinned widely. The other pirates looked at Luffy one after another. Shanks looked at Luffy and, for some reason, found him quite pleasing. Kid, this is not a place for kids your age to come. Go home quickly, Shanks said, throwing a chicken leg at Luffy. Take it and eat it on your way home. It seems Dodden was right. These people are not bad. Luffy's first impression of Shanks and the others was pretty good. Uncles, I want to train in Haki. Is there anyone willing to teach me? Although Luffy had relaxed his guard against these pirates, he wouldn't be foolish enough to tell strangers about his mastery of both Haki. Previously, he revealed his Haki in front of Dodden because if his grandfather could trust Dodden enough to leave him in her care, then Dodden must be trustworthy. Training in Haki. Upon hearing Luffy's question, the bar fell into a brief silence, followed by uproarious laughter. Ha ha ha. Kid, you haven't even grown any hair yet, and you want to train in Haki? That's too much for you to handle at your age, and in such a closed-off little mountain village. It's already quite impressive that you know about Haki, kid. Haki is not something you can just practice if you want to hurry home and drink your milk, ha ha ha. The pirates laughed so hard that they couldn't close their mouths. Despite being mocked by the listeners, Luffy remained as calm, not the least bit angry. because he knew, this is how the world is. Strong people mocking the weaker ones is an act of kindness. They clearly have the power to kill them, but they only mock, which is already quite merciful. Only by quickly reaching the pinnacle of the world can one have the qualification to shut others up. Seeing Luffy's nonchalant expression, Shanks was somewhat surprised. This kid is indeed different from ordinary children. Brat, do you really want to train in haki? Shanks looked at Luffy and asked. Yes. Luffy nodded. Good. I'm in a good mood today, so I'll teach you. But I'll only teach it once. How much you can remember depends on your ability. Thanks, uncle. I'll treat you to a drink. When Luffy arrived at Windmill Village, Garp left him some pocket money. Luffy didn't hesitate to take it out now. Oh, you're a sensible kid. Captain, actions speak louder than words. You better teach him well. Although he won't be able to learn it, Shanks, you can't just brush him off. He even treated you to a drink. Amidst the laughter of the pirates, Shanks began to teach Luffy the basics of training in haki. Haki basics. Luffy had long surpassed this level, but he still listened attentively, not wanting to miss a single word. Alright, kid, that's the basics of haki. Shanks finished speaking and raised his glass to enjoy his drink. Luffy pondered for a moment. He had learned the basics of haki from Garp before, and they were slightly different, but they ultimately led to the same path, which greatly benefited Luffy. What comes after the basics? Luffy asked. Shanks paused with a sip of his drink, turned his head slightly, and looked at Luffy in surprise. Kid, don't bite off more than you can chew, it's okay. Uncle said you'll only teach it once, and how much I learn depends on my ability. I treated you to a drink, so of course, I want to hear more from you. Ahaha. Alright then. I'll continue. Afterward, Shanks continued to verbally teach Luffy how to train in haki. 2 hours later. Alright, this is all the experience of training in advanced armament haki and observation haki. Going further depends on individual talent, unrelated to experience. After listening to Shanks' teachings on training methods, Luffy was greatly shocked. The bottlenecks he encountered were also included. Luffy was certain that Shanks was indeed earnestly teaching him the methods of training in haki. Thank you, uncle, for your guidance. Luffy picked up a bottle of alcohol and was about to toast Shanks. However, Shanks snatched the bottle away and replaced it with a bottle of beverage, clinking his glass with Luffy's drink. Then he downed it in one gulp. Luffy looked at the beverage in his hand and was momentarily stunned. Uncle is a good person. He raised the beverage and also downed it generously. Chapter 12 Question, how did Red Border Luffy eat his devil fruit? Monkey D. Garp, you idiot. Luffy, look at what red-haired Shanks taught him. What did you learn from Shanks? Monkey D. Luffy, grandpa, I didn't even know about haki back then. Shanks, oh man, why didn't I think to tell Luffy about the ways to train haki before? Since Luffy set sail until now, Shanks has actually been keeping an eye on Luffy's news. But in just a few months, Luffy has grown from an inexperienced kid to a supernova in the pirate world with a bounty of 300 million berries. It's not hard to see that Luffy is extremely talented. If he had taught Luffy how to train haki like Shanks in the Red Border, you wonder what Luffy would be like now. Kid, did you get confused listening to so much at once? It would have been better if you had just listened to the basics of haki training, Shank roared, taking a sip of his drink and laughing. Not confused. It's rare to meet someone like you, uncle, who is willing to teach me. Of course, the more I learn, the better, Luffy replied. Oh, kid, how about you pay for all of our drinks, and I'll have the captain teach you the training method for Conqueror's haki. Lucky Roo teased, winking at Luffy. At the mention of Conqueror's haki for the first time, Luffy's eyes lit up. There's also Conqueror's haki? Why didn't Grandpa mention it? Yeah, want to learn? Just the cost of a round of drinks. Lucky Roo smirked. I want to learn. Luffy slapped his money pouch, which contained his secret stash, on the counter. This is all the money I have. If it's not enough, I'll pay the rest later. Shanks rolled his eyes at Garp and Lucky Roo. Stop teasing Luffy, you two. Then, Shanks pointed at the two of them and said to Luffy, remember these two, they're troublemakers. But, uncle, I really want to learn how to train Conqueror's haki, Luffy insisted. Before Shanks could speak, Ben Beckman patted Luffy's shoulder. Kid, they're just messing with you. To train Conqueror's haki, you need talent first. Conqueror's haki represents the qualifications of a king. It's a rare haki that may only appear in one out of millions of people. Shanks also laughed. Yes, they just want to trick you out of your money. You need talent to learn it. Hearing this, Luffy felt empty inside. I guess I don't have it. No wonder Grandpa didn't teach him how to train Conqueror's haki. It's because of this reason. Kid, take your money back and use it to buy yourself something to eat. Shanks pushed Luffy's money pouch back. No, but at that moment, Luffy stubbornly blocked the money pouch with his small hand, looking at Shanks with determination. Uncle, please teach me how to train Conqueror's haki. Just because I don't have it now doesn't mean I won't have it in the future. Ha 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 ha. The whole bar was filled with a joyful atmosphere. These veteran pirates have seen countless self-proclaimed prodigies like Luffy, but in the end, each one of them was beaten down by reality. The Luffy before my eyes is just like those countless self-confident boys, so naive and ignorant. Kaido, ha ha ha. This brat is too overconfident. Does he really think Conqueror's haki can be easily learned? Charlotte Linlin, there are always fools like this, thinking they are destined for greatness. Edward Newgate, I don't know what you two fools are laughing about. This kid is Garp's grandson, Dragon's son. Is it strange if he awakens Conqueror's Haki in the future? Gold, Roger, not strange, Rocks D, Xebec, you two brothers are in perfect harmony, Gold, Roger, get lost. Kaido, hee, does being a descendant of a strong person mean he will definitely be strong? Hey, Luffy kid over there, have you awakened Conqueror's Haki? Monkey D, Luffy, what's Conqueror's Haki? Everyone, ding. Entering the quiz segment. At this moment, a question appeared on the big screen. Question, how did the red border Luffy obtain the devil fruit? A. He didn't eat it. B. Like the white border Luffy, he accidentally saw the devil fruit in a wooden box next to Lucky Roo and thought it was a fruit, so he picked it up and ate it. C. The devil fruit rolled in front of Luffy on its own, and Shanks took advantage of the situation and gave it to Luffy to eat. D. Shanks didn't teach him the training method for Conqueror's Haki, so Luffy held a grudge and stole the devil fruit, then ate it. E. The bar owner Makino accidentally made the devil fruit into a fruit salad, which was eaten by Luffy. Please think carefully and answer cautiously. Punishment Mechanism 1. If you answer within 5 seconds, Punishment Mechanism 1 will be activated. Those who answer incorrectly will have 1 year of their lifespan deducted if they are alive, or they will be disqualified from participating in the quiz 5 times if they are dead. Punishment Mechanism 2. If you answer after 5 seconds, Punishment Mechanism 2 will be activated. If you answer incorrectly twice in a row, you will be disqualified from participating in the quiz twice. Chapter 13. Chapter 13. This fruit is too active. Sengoku, I choose. What? Just as he was about to answer, Sengoku suddenly read the instructions on the screen clearly. Immediately, he swallowed his breath. Those who answer within 5 seconds and get it wrong will lose 1 year of their lifespan. This punishment mechanism is too terrifying for those who have already lived for many years. No one knows how many more years they can live. If they only have 1 year left, and they answer this question wrong, wouldn't that mean they're done for? Sengoku is still thinking about having Trafalgar Law perform the eternal life surgery on him if he were to die an untimely death because of answering a question wrong. There would be nowhere to cry Kyuzin, so there's a punishment mechanism now. Borsalino, looks like we can't answer questions casually anymore. Rocks D, Xebec, what's there to be afraid of? This punishment mechanism is a threat to the living, but we, the dead, aren't afraid. Shiki, Roger, this is our chance, let's answer quickly. Gold, Roger, you idiot, I've read the punishment. Shiki, ha ha ha, you old coot, you're so cunning. Trying to fool me and Roger, but we won't fall for it. Although the deceased won't lose their lifespan, if they answer incorrectly within 5 seconds, they will lose 5 chances to answer the quiz. In a situation where the existence of the reward has already been confirmed, not being able to participate in 5 consecutive rounds of the quiz is even more unbearable than death, isn't it? Monkey D, Luffy, answering wrong only deducts 1 year of lifespan? That's so cheap. Monkey D, Garp. Sengoku. Suru. Rorono Zoro, Luffy, be more normal. Nami, sorry everyone, our captain accidentally got released, I'll take him away now. Amidst everyone's chatter, the 5-second punishment protection period quickly passed in this wave. Everyone was obviously cautious. No one chose to answer within 5 seconds. Rocks D, Xebec A. This kid is different from the idiot Luffy, he's clearly a potential non-devil fruit user. Sengoku A. Based on the current situation, Luffy doesn't even have a chance to come into contact with the devil fruit. Edward Newgate E. First, eliminate C and D, those two options are too ridiculous. In my opinion, B and E have the highest possibility, so let's choose E. Eustace Kid B. Option B is the style of Straw Hat Kid. Trafalgar Law E. The more outrageous the situation, the more it suits the Straw Hat Captain. Shiki A. It must be A. Charlotte Linlin A. Charlotte Linlin ah. You bastard Shiki. You stole my top 3. Shiki ha ha ha. Linlin, you're too slow. Sakazuki E. Don Quixote da Flamingo, looks like the correct answer has been taken, forget it, no need to waste the chance for error tolerance. Soon, some people in the chat room made their choices, while others chose not to answer. After all, if they answer incorrectly twice in a row, they will be forcibly interrupted from participating in answering questions twice. That's not pleasant at all. Since they feel that the correct answer is already gone, there's no need to waste the chance to answer. Countdown to answering time. 10, 9, 8. As they watched the countdown on the big screen continuously ticking, Shanks frowned. Option C seemed absurd and unrestrained to others, but to Shanks, the more he looked at it, the more he felt that this was the correct answer. Back then, he accidentally brought the devil fruit to the Windmill Village, and it inexplicably ended up being eaten by Luffy. He felt that it was the devil fruit choosing Luffy. Now, on the other side, the red border Luffy has not experienced what the white border Luffy has, but if Luffy is truly the chosen one by fate, then, the devil fruit will definitely choose him. 3, 2, 1 Shanks, C. 0 As the countdown ends, the frozen video on the big screen starts playing again. Shanks refused to teach Luffy the training method for Conqueror's Haki. In his opinion, the dual-color Haki training method he just taught Luffy is already an unsolvable problem for him in this lifetime. If he were to teach the training method for Conqueror's Haki, it would only confuse this ignorant boy even more. Moreover, the probability of someone awakening Conqueror's Haki is 1 in several million, and this young boy in front of him doesn't seem like someone with the presence of an emperor. Thank you, Uncle. Luffy didn't linger and sincerely thanked Shanks again. Even if Shanks didn't tell him the training method for Conqueror's Haki, he has already told him a lot. Luffy is very grateful. But just as Luffy and Shanks were preparing to say goodbye and leave, a wooden box on the table next to Lucky Roo suddenly flipped over. Gurgle, a purple devil fruit with mysterious patterns, happened to roll to Luffy's feet. Rocks D, Xebec, damn. No way. The devil fruit rolled to his feet on its own? Is this even possible? Gold Roger, could the answer be C? Edward Newgate, I also chose wrong. It seems we can't answer the next quiz. Suru, someone seemed to have chosen C when the countdown was about to end. I didn't pay attention to who it was. Shiki, it was Shanks who chose. Hey, Shanks, even though it was you who did something over there, why do you know the correct answer? Shanks, if I knew the correct answer, would I need to think for so long to make a choice? I just trust my instincts. Sengoku, stop arguing. This brat hasn't even eaten it yet, what's the rush? From the current situation, the most likely answers are A and C, but until the answer is announced, no one can guarantee which one is correct. Ha! Looking at the devil fruit that stayed at Luffy's feet, all the Red Hair Pirates executives were stunned. Everyone looked at Lucky Roo in unison because he was the one who was keeping the devil fruit. Sorry, someone must have accidentally knocked over the box. Lucky Roo walked up to Luffy with an embarrassed expression, bent down, and picked up the devil fruit. Rocks D, Xebec, good. Well picked. Shiki, ha ha ha. Captain, our chance for resurrection has come. Rocks D, Xebec, get lost. I'll be the first one to kill you when I'm resurrected. Suru, Sengoku, you're going to get a reward. Sengoku, but Rocks and Shiki will also get a reward. I hope they don't get resurrected. Rocks D, Xebec, shut up with your jinx. Shanks looked at the devil fruit that Lucky Roo picked up, lost in thought. Goodbye, uncle. Luffy said goodbye again and then walked towards the door. On the other side, Lucky Roo put the devil fruit back into the wooden box, but not knowing if he had drunk too much, he raised his hand and the devil fruit hit the corner of the table. Bang 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 bang. A series of rolling. Luffy looked at the purple fruit at his feet, looking confused. The people watching the movie were also equally confused. This fruit is too proactive. Chapter 14. Chapter 14. Luffy had been inside of the Empress? Borsalino, hey, what does that devil fruit doing? How does it keep going to the Straw Hat Boy? Shiki, with so many people in there, what makes him different from others? Trafalgar Law, the situation where the Straw Hat Captain obtained the devil fruit is even more outrageous than our Straw Hat Captain over here. Scratchmanapu, can devil fruits really have ability to choose its user? Capone Beeg, I don't think so. Sengoku, damn it. Although the situations with the devil fruits on both sides are different, they both ended up in Luffy's hands. Is there really some kind of destiny at play? Monkey D, Garp, Sengoku, what are you talking about? My grandson doesn't have any destiny. Boa Hancock, yes, Luffy-sama doesn't have any destiny. If there is destiny, then his destiny is to be mine. Dracule my hawk. Don Quixote da Flamingo, he, interesting Cusin. Monkey D, Garp, Hancock, there's something off about you. Boa Hancock, grandfather, there's nothing off about me. Luffy-sama is the man destined for me. After Hancock said this, the chat room was filled with gasps of shock. Damn! The most beautiful woman in the world, the queen who never looks at other men, she's actually infatuated with Monkey D, Luffy. What kind of charm does this kid have? He even melted the heart of the Empress. Gold, Roger, congratulations, Garp. Edward Newgate, congratulations, Garp. Shiki, congratulations, Garp. Borsalino, congratulations, Garp. Monkey D, Garp. Everyone shut up. Hancock, listen carefully, don't think you can take advantage. Luffy. Boa Hancock, ah. Grandfather, if you speak like that, it will make me very sad. Luffy-sama, he has been inside me. Damn. The barrage in the chat room exploded on the spot. At that moment, everyone no longer cared about whether Luffy would eat the devil fruit. They were all excited about Hancock and Luffy's love affair. Eustace Kid, Straw Hat Kid, you don't seem interested in women, but you're actually a hidden pervert. Trafalgar Law, Straw Hat Captain, wow. Marshall D, Teach, Zay ha ha ha. Straw Hat Luffy, I knew you were extraordinary from the beginning. Porgasti, Ace Luffy, you've grown up. Nami, idiot Luffy, you've been hiding this from all of us. Vinsmoke Sanji, Luffy, you damn bastard. Ah, why isn't it me? The style in the chat room suddenly changed. Garp's heart was about to give out. He loudly questioned in the chat room, Garp, Luffy, did you really been inside Empress Hancock's body? On a warship not far from the Marine headquarters. Everyone around stared at Luffy with envy. Luffy scratched his nose and pondered for a moment. Indeed, when he went to impel down, he did enter the Empress's body to sneak in, didn't he? Monkey D, Luffy, oh, yeah, I did. Oh, the eyes of all the pirates who escaped from impel down widened to the maximum. Their eyeballs were about to fall to the ground. Damn. This kid, he actually went through it with the most beautiful woman in the world. Even strong individuals like Crocodile and Jinbei couldn't help but look at Luffy with new appreciation. This kid really caught everyone by surprise. The chat room exploded again. Vinsmoke Sanji, ah, I can't live anymore. Nami, Luffy, you damn bastard. Nico Robin. Rorono Zoro, Luffy, you're amazing. Usopp, I'm so jealous of Luffy. Shanks, ahaha. Luffy, you have this ability 2x Drake. This kid, did he really save the world in his past life? He's so lucky. Capone Beeg, you don't understand. Straw Hat Luffy is not the one who benefited from rubber fruit user. Borsalino, huh, so you're saying, the reason Empress Hancock is infatuated with Luffy is because of the rubber fruit. Kuzan, why do you always have to butt in? Monkey D, Garp, Luffy. Monkey D, Luffy, huh, grandfather. Monkey D, Garp, you really are a useless brat. Next time we meet, I'll smash your head, huh? On the warship, Luffy tilted his head, full of question marks. What did he do wrong? Chapter 15 Shanks won the reward, the Phoenix Arm. The mythical Zoan human fruit model, Nika, rolled to Luffy's feet for the second time, leaving everyone in the bar dumbfounded. Seems like this rubber fruit really likes this kid. Lucky Roo chuckled and walked over to pick up the devil fruit again. However, Shanks stopped him and said, wait a minute. Lucky Roo stood still and asked, huh? Boss, what's wrong? Shanks stood up from his seat, walked over to Luffy, and picked up the devil fruit from the ground. He stared at it for a while, as if making a decision. Luffy, have you heard of devil fruits? I've heard of them, but I've never seen one. Luffy had seen the power of devil fruits on the warship before. He knew that they were fruits that granted extraordinary abilities when eaten. However, he had never seen what a devil fruit looked like and thought they looked like ordinary fruits. Well, now you've seen one. This is a type of devil fruit called the rubber fruit. It is a Parasemia devil fruit. This is a devil fruit. Yes. Once you eat it, you'll become a rubber person, but at the same time, you'll be cursed by the sea and become unable to swim forever. I know about not being able to swim. I've heard of it. Luffy nodded, then looked puzzled. But why would you tell me all this, Uncle Shanks? Shanks said, Luffy, do you believe in fate? This devil fruit rolled to your feet twice, and I feel like it's not a coincidence. If you want, I'd like to give you this devil fruit as a gift. Luffy quickly refused Shanks' generous offer, saying it was too valuable. Although Luffy didn't know how much money this devil fruit could fetch, he knew it was definitely a huge sum. Faced with Luffy's sincerity, Shanks laughed heartily and said, as pirates, we value freedom above all else. The value of this devil fruit doesn't matter, what matters is that it chose you. Don't worry about the money. The key is whether you want it. If you happen to choose it, you can repay me in the future. It chose him? Luffy stared at the rubber fruit, deep in thought. The scene of the devil fruit rolling to his feet twice replayed in his mind. Did it really choose him? But if it chose him, does he have to choose it? But, if he missed this chance, someone else will most likely eat this devil fruit, and once it's missed forever. Should he cherish this magical fate or ignore it? Luffy's mind was in turmoil, struggling like a whirlpool. Shanks remained silent, and under his gaze, the Red Hair Pirates officers also kept quiet. He didn't want to influence Luffy's decision. In his view, if it was truly a special fate, it should be entirely up to Luffy to decide. Luffy pondered for a long time, and when he looked up again, there was no trace of hesitation on his young face. I want it. Luffy's gaze was resolute. He ultimately decided to follow his heart. Uncle Shanks, when I earn money in the future, I will definitely repay you for this devil fruit. Luffy said. No problem, it's yours now. Seeing Luffy accept the devil fruit, Shanks didn't show much excitement in his heart. He left everything to fate. Luffy accepted the devil fruit and bid farewell to Shanks once again, preparing to leave. But before he could take a step, Shanks called out to him again. Ha! Uncle Shanks, Luffy, do you still want to learn the Conqueror's Haki training method I taught you earlier? I do. Luffy's eyes lit up. By the time Luffy left the bar, it was already getting late in the evening. When he returned home, he didn't care about anything else and immediately found paper and pen to write down the training method Shanks had taught him in detail. Although he couldn't replicate it completely, he recorded it quite accurately. As for the rubber fruit, he didn't immediately eat it. He was still hesitating, becoming a devil fruit user, but also becoming unable to swim. This was something that needed careful consideration. Days passed one by one. Finally, on a certain morning, 1 month after Luffy obtained the rubber fruit, he ate it. The video ended, and it was clear that the answer had been determined. Ding! The top winners of the prize quiz is Shanks. Congratulations to one person for winning the prize. Congratulations to Shanks for winning the reward of the Phoenix Arm. Because the Phoenix Arm is a magical item from the otherworld, a special note is made. Note, an arm tempered with the blood of the ancient divine beast, the Fire Kylan, possessing incredibly powerful strength and defense, impervious to heat and cold, and invulnerable to blades and spears. Damn! Seeing the note about the Kylan arm, the chat room exploded. Chapter 16 Awaken the Conquer Haki at 9. In a certain area of the sea near Marine headquarters, the flagship of the Red Hair Pirates, the Red Force, is here. Accompanied by the distribution of rewards, Red Hair Shanks suddenly feels a faint pain in his missing arm. It's as if there is some kind of ultimate burning sensation at the site of his severed arm. Despite the unbearable pain, Shanks still grits his teeth and makes an effort not to make a sound. But how can the youngest of the 4 emperors embarrass himself in front of his subordinate's boss? Shanks, Captain. Just as the officers around him turn their gaze towards Shanks, they see his unusual reaction. They are eager to rush to Shanks' side and show concern for his condition. But under the confinement of the screen, they are unable to make any drastic movements. They can only make minimal movements within a very small range, and their actions are extremely slow, as if they were hit by a slow light wave. Don't worry, I'm fine. Shanks furrows his brow, but his words reassure everyone not to worry. He can clearly feel that the cells at the site of his severed left arm are growing frantically. Each of these newly grown cells contains extremely powerful flame energy and life force. In the next moment, a burst of fire instantly illuminates this area of the sea. The clouds in the sky are also dyed a fiery orange. In the astonished gazes of the Red Hair Pirates officers, Shank's left arm is rapidly growing and repairing itself. When the flames completely subside, a burning arm appears on Shank's body. Through the flames, everyone can clearly see a vivid fire phoenix pattern on that arm. The chat room is also buzzing. Gol D, Roger, little Shanks, do you have 3 arms now? Shanks, Captain, my left arm was severed 10 years ago, and now I have obtained the phoenix arm, so I have exactly 2. Gol D, Roger, that's really a pity. If you had 3 arms, your strength would have reached another level. Kojiki Odin, ha. Captain Roger, I think 2 arms look better, otherwise it would be strange. Kaido Shanks, is that phoenix arm really that amazing? I wonder how it compares to my defense. Shanks, we'll have to try it to know. But, this phoenix arm is indeed full of power, and it can even produce phoenix flames. I feel like I've lucked out. Dracula Mihawk after the Summit War. Shanks, come to Kurigana Island to spar with me. Now you have the qualifications to test your swordsmanship against me. Shanks, haha, no problem. But I feel like now, if I hold a sword in my left hand, I can beat you to a pulp. Kizaru, hot and cold are no obstacle, and blades and spears cannot penetrate. Is this phoenix arm really that exaggerated? Borsalino, it's troublesome. A 4 Emperors level pirate obtaining something like this is really headache-inducing. Sengoku, don't overthink it. The comparison broadcast is still ongoing, and as long as we have the opportunity to answer the quiz, the rewards we Marines receive will definitely not be few. Shiki, with your shady and smoky character, what can you get? Once I'm resurrected, watch me overthrow Marine headquarters and avenge that mistake from the past. Sengoku, get lost. I can't be bothered to talk to a dead man. The video continues. Day after day, Luffy diligently trains from dawn till dusk. 2 years later, Luffy is now 9 years old. In the mountains, Luffy is practicing observation haki under the attack of 100 wild beasts. Suddenly, an unparalleled intimidation spreads from Luffy, instantly spreading throughout the entire mountains. All the beasts present immediately fall to the ground, legs up in the air, foaming at the mouth, convulsing uncontrollably. There are even many instances of defecation and urination. The scene is truly horrifying. Damn! Seeing this scene, all the strong individuals feel a tingling sensation on their scalps. Doflamingo, that is, haki. Conquerors. Kuzan, no need to doubt, that is indeed Conqueror's haki. Tsuru, Garp, you have a monstrous grandson. Awakening Conqueror's haki at 9 years old, even in the New World, this is an extremely rare talent. Monkey D, Garp, stop talking. The more you say, the worse I feel. Compared to that red border Luffy over there, I increasingly feel like I'm just a piece of shit. Monkey D, Luffy, oh. Nico Robin, hee, it's a comment from Luffy's grandpa, Frankie, ha. Stop it, it's too painful. Well, super. Charlotte Katakuri, this kid's talent is quite perverted. Marco, both sides of the Straw Hat Kid should have the same talent, it's just that the Luffy over there has spent all his time on training, so he awakened Conqueror's haki earlier. In theory, this Luffy should also possess the potential of a king, he just hasn't awakened it yet. Monkey D, Luffy, huh? Can I also awaken that Conqueror's haki? Monkey D, Garp, you idiot. How dare you say that? That Luffy over there awakened Conquerors at 9 years old. And you? You still haven't awakened it, how embarrassing. Boa Hancock, Grandpa, please don't scold Luffy-kun anymore. Luffy-kun has actually already awakened Conqueror's haki, I can prove it. Previously, on Snake Island, when Luffy saw Margaret and the others' lives being threatened, in his desperation, he awakened Conqueror's haki. Luffy doesn't know what happened, but Hancock does. Now, seeing Luffy being scolded by his grandfather, she can't bear to see Luffy being criticized, so she quickly provides proof for Luffy. Monkey D, Garp, shut up. Stop calling me Grandpa. Your matters with Luffy are your own, don't involve me. Just thinking about how this guy Luffy is completely reckless, Garp becomes furious. Garp now wishes he could jump into the red border world and switch places with the Garp over there in the scene. Luffy is still training day after day, year after year. Another 5 years pass by in a hurry now. Luffy is 14 years old. 2 months after Ace sets sail, Luffy also sets sail. At this point, the screen with the red border dims down. Chapter 17, My Hawk, don't laugh at him. I agree with his goal. Monkey D, Luffy, huh? Did I set sail at the age of 14 over there? Why didn't I go with Ace? Porgas D, Ace, Luffy, haven't you realized? I wasn't worthy of setting sail with you over there. Monkey D, Luffy, is that so? Nami, if Luffy set sail so early over there, then it seems like we have no chance. Roronoa Zoro, I don't know. At this time, I should still be in that area as a bounty hunter. Maybe Luffy will run into me. However, that Luffy over there is too strong, so he might not think much of me. Usopp, if even he don't think highly of you, then I definitely won't catch the attention of the famous Luffy. Nico Robin, don't think too much. Our meeting with Luffy itself is fate. That Luffy over there will surely have his own destiny. Vinsmoke Sanji, Robin-chan is absolutely right. Roronoa Zoro, Sanji, you're such a pervert. Tony Chopper, Sanji, you're such a pervert. Usopp, Sanji, you're such a pervert. Vinsmoke Sanji, you damn mosshead. I'll fight you. In the midst of the Straw Hat Pirates banter, the large screen with a white border gradually lit up. On a sunny day, 17-year-old Luffy recklessly sailed out to sea on a small boat. He wanted to establish a pirate crew and find 10 companions. But things didn't go well. Less than half a day after setting sail, Luffy encountered a whirlpool and his boat was destroyed. Fortunately, Luffy cleverly hid in a barrel and narrowly escaped drowning in the sea. By a twist of fate, the large barrel Luffy was in was salvaged by Kobe. Luffy fought against Alvida and helped Kobe break free from her control. Afterwards, the two arrived at the Shells town. Zoro makes his appearance initially. Luffy thought Zoro was the killer mentioned by Kobe, and he had no intention of recruiting him as a crew member, but when he learned that Zoro willingly put himself in danger to protect a little girl from Marine Captain's son, Luffy beat up the son on the spot and immediately decided to recruit Zoro as a companion. Gol D, Xebec, what are we watching? This kid's adventure story. Gol D, Roger, what are you complaining about? No one's forcing you to watch. Shiki, I actually find this quite interesting. Haven't you noticed? The Marines in this base are oppressing the townspeople. And that big-headed Sengoku keeps shouting about representing justice all day long. He represents nothing but a bunch of nonsense. Akoku, ha ha ha. These shameless Marines, who do they think they are calling us pirates? Charlotte Linland, Marines have any shame? Those who have shame can't become Marines. Sengoku, trying to tarnish the reputation of the Marines? Haha, do you pirates really think people will believe what you say? On the Marine branch base, Kobe tries to untie Zoro but is shot down by Marine bullets. Then, Captain Morgan appears, and under his command, a group of Marine soldiers fires a dense barrage of bullets at Zoro and Kobe. Just as it seems like their lives are about to end, Luffy descends from the sky like a god. The dense bullets pierce Luffy's body, only to be repelled by the power of the rubber fruit. After saving Zoro, Luffy expresses his intention to recruit him, but Zoro states that he will not become a pirate. However, Luffy holds Zoro's 3 swords and says, "Now, you can either join me in fighting against the Marines, but you will become a wanted criminal, or you can die here. It's your choice." Hearing Luffy's offer, Zoro shows a shocked expression. "To think you would give me a multiple choice with only one option. You devils. Forget it, it doesn't matter anymore. Rather than being killed here, I'd rather become a pirate with you." Then, Luffy unties Zoro's ropes. The Marine soldiers rush forward, but Zoro instantly equips his 3 swords and blocks all the attacks from behind with a cool pose. He stares resolutely at Luffy, saying, "Listen, I promise to become a pirate, but I also have my own dream. At this point, regardless of whether I have fame or infamy, I will make the world remember my name. I will become the world's greatest swordsman." Hearing this, Luffy grins happily. The world's greatest swordsman? That's amazing. A pirate king's crew need the world's greatest swordman. Shanks, wow. Luffy, your crewmate's dream is not small at all. Wanting to become the world's greatest swordsman? The difficulty is extremely high, Jun, more than just difficult. With that person around, it's not an impossible dream at all. Vista, that's right, as long as Mihawk is alive, the throne of the world's greatest swordsman cannot be shaken. Dracula Mihawk, don't mock his dream, I approve of his goal. In the future, I will be waiting for him to challenge me for the throne of the world's greatest swordsman. Hiss. When Mihawk said these words, everyone's hearts were filled with shock. To be able to earn Mihawk's recognition, what extraordinary qualities does Zoro possess? Chapter 18. Are you worthy to compete with the Straw Hat Kid? Sabayati Archipelago. On a giant screen, the scene of the Summit War is still playing. On a high ground, the supernovas are gathered here watching the chat room where Mihawk is evaluating Zoro. One of the supernovas, Killer, speaks in a deep voice. As a swordsman, to be praised by Mihawk like this. Beside him, Kid sneers. What are you thinking? Isn't he just the world's greatest swordsman? Sooner or later, we'll bring him down. I will let you also experience being the world's greatest swordsman. Killer doesn't respond. He knows that his big brother doesn't tolerate anyone in his eyes, and he doesn't bother to argue with him. The luck of the Straw Hat Captain is really good. He actually easily obtains such a powerful crewmate like Zoro. Trafalgar Law leans against a large rock, leisurely crossing his legs. On the left, Scratchman Apu bursts into laughter. Papa. Who would have thought that the second strongest of the Straw Hat Pirates is someone who was tricked and deceived by Straw Hat Luffy to get on the ship? Stop talking nonsense. Look, they're about to fight again. Urage reminds them. In the screen, Luffy and Captain Morgan start fighting. Although Captain Morgan is physically strong, his combat power is still inferior to Luffy's. Soon, Luffy knocks Captain Morgan down. He grabs Captain Morgan by the collar and angrily lectures him. "You Marines, you've really ruined Kobe's dream." Just as he is about to punch Morgan, Helmeppo points a gun at Kobe's head, threatening Luffy. "If you don't want him to die, don't move." Helmeppo scolds loudly. Luffy releases Morgan and turns to look at Helmeppo. Rubber pistol. Luffy activates his ability, his arm instantly stretches and shoots towards Helmeppo. But just as he is about to strike, Morgan, whom he let go, stands behind him and raises the axe hand high. Gol D, Roger, can this kid be so careless in battle? Gol D, Xebec, to put oneself in danger to save a useless person, what a fool. Charlotte Katakuri, clearly having the ability to control the situation, yet being led by others, it's difficult to become a ruthless pirate. Shiki, a useless person who clamored to join the Marines, and a temporary partner who just agreed to join. How did he survive under Morgan's axe in this situation? Luffy, be careful behind you. Kobe sees Morgan raising the axe hand and shouts like a madman. However, Luffy doesn't even turn his head, he just calmly says, "Zoro." Swish! A flash of cold light. Morgan's blood splatters, crashing to the ground. A figure appears where Morgan fell, holding a sword in each hand, with another one clenched in his mouth. The swordsman of the three-sword style, Zoro. Zoro turns slightly, calmly saying, piece of cake, Captain. Monkey D, Luffy, so cool, Zoro. Luffy watches with great interest, shouting out in excitement, as if watching a drama. Rorono Zoro, hey, Luffy, you idiot. Who praises their own comrade in front of everyone. Trafalgar Law, Zoro, that was indeed an impressive move. But the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates has a keen eye for people. He just recently accepted you as a crewmate and already trusts you enough to guard him. Gold, Roger, wow. This level of trust reminds me of the trust between me and Rayleigh back in the day. Silver Rayleigh, yes, Captain. Those were the days of our youth. Gold, Roger, huh? Rayleigh, you're here. Why haven't you said anything until now? Silver Rayleigh, Shucky won't let me speak, otherwise she won't give me money for drinks. Gold, Roger, haha. So, you finally caught up with Shucky, huh? Shiki, the right-hand man of the mighty Pirate King has become a henpecked husband. Rayleigh, are you trying to make me laugh? Kakik. Shucky, old Rayleigh is just joking, he actually woke up drunk. He's just talking nonsense. He's really something. Silver Rayleigh, ha ha ha. Rox D, Xebec, damn it. Golden Lion, Whitebeard, Kaido, Linlin, Akoku, all of you bastards, take a look. Look at how they treat their captain. And then look at yourselves. Damn it, each one of you either betrays or flees in the face of battle, a bunch of useless trash. Shiki rocks, how dare you compare yourself to that Straw Hat kid? Can you show the same level of trust towards your comrades as he just did? Can you King do it? Edward Newgate, trust goes both ways. Rocks, do you not know what kind of person you are? Stop licking your face and criticizing us. Kaido, damn it, I didn't flee in the face of battle. I just didn't know you guys were going to the Valley of the Gods. Once I found out, you'd be dead. Charlotte Linlin, even though I went, I'm not your mother. If you want to die, can I still follow you to your death? Borsalino, wow, it's terrifying to see these big-shot pirates tearing each other apart like this. Kizaru, this guy, enjoys watching the chaos, a professional pot stirrer indeed. Under his provocation, the chat room becomes even more lively. Just then, the large screen with a white border gradually dims. The large screen with a red border next to it gradually lights up. Chapter 19 East Blue is too small to carry your dreams. The large screen with a red border gradually lit up. Under the mountain, Luffy stood on a small boat, waving goodbye to Dodden and the others. Set sail. It wasn't a planned decision by Luffy, but a spontaneous one. In these years, Luffy has been training his haki and rubber fruit abilities in the mountains, rapidly improving his strength, but in the past half year, Luffy's progress has been diminishing, especially in his haki training. The progress has become almost negligible. The inability to improve his strength makes Luffy feel insecure. He talked to Dodden about these things, and Dodden told him that seedlings in a greenhouse are destined to never grow into towering trees. Those who can stand at the peak, not a single one of them didn't undergo a transformation in battle. Luffy, the East Blue is too small to hold your dreams. It's time to go out and see the world. When Dodden said these words to Luffy with great seriousness, Luffy finally made up his mind to set sail. Standing on the shore, Dodden hid her worries in her heart and said in a carefree manner, Luffy, even if you don't want to be a Marine, don't become a Revolutionary Army soldier either. Dodden has known Garp for a long time. Until now, she still remembers the day when Garp found out that Monkey D. Dragon had become a Revolutionary Army soldier. He cried all night long. Dodden doesn't want such a thing to happen again. Luffy nodded and smiled. Well, I won't become a Revolutionary Army soldier. Because just like the Marines, the Revolutionary Army has too many restrictions. I just want to be a free person. Dodden looked surprised. Then she spread her hands. So you want to be a pirate? Well, at least the relationship between pirates and the Marines is not as hostile as that between the Revolutionary Army and the Marines. In this world, there are so many pirates, and only those who have done bad things are wanted by the Marines. In fact, some pirates who have done so many bad things are not wanted, but instead become allies of the Marines. But the Revolutionary Army, the moment you become a member of the Revolutionary Army, you become an enemy of the world government who will never give up killing you. Luffy chuckled, not really, I never really thought about becoming a pirate or a Marine. I just want to see the vast world and find opportunities to improve my strength, so that my freedom won't be constrained by others. Hearing Luffy's words, Dodden felt very happy. With that, little Luffy shouldn't end up on the opposite side of Garp. That's good. Brat, have a safe journey. Saying that, Dodden threw a bag to Luffy and instructed, there's some money I saved inside. You can eat, don't let yourself go hungry, Luffy. If the outside world really doesn't suit you, remember, Dodden's home under the mountain will always welcome you. After speaking, Dodden turned around without looking back. The two bandits beside her hesitated for a moment, glanced at Luffy, and then silently turned and left. When Dodden was about to reach the small grove, she heard Luffy's voice from behind. Dodden, take care of yourself. This strong and sturdy female bandit couldn't hold back her tears any longer, and a kind tear shimmered in her eyes. Dodden, that little Luffy over there is so sensible. But our Luffy is not bad either. Monkey D. Garp, what do you mean not bad? He doesn't even know how to sail a boat. Garp vividly remembered the moment when Luffy set sail on the white border screen just now. Two fists raised, hands held high, shouting, I will become the Pirate King, and that's it. And then look at the red border Luffy. Although he keeps others at a distance on the surface, his heart is warm. The most crucial thing is, the red border Luffy clearly stated that he won't become a Revolutionary Army. And he doesn't have any plans to become a pirate for now. Just this alone makes Garp very satisfied. Damn, can't think. The more he thinks, the more Garp wants to dive into the red border screen and switch places with the Garp over their Chapter 20 rubber propeller. On the sparkling sea, a few seagulls pass by from low altitude. Under the bright sun, Luffy lies in the cabin of the boat. His face is covered with a straw hat, which is a parting gift from Shanks to Luffy on the day the red-haired pirates leave the Windmill Village. Although Luffy and Shanks have not actually been together for a long time, Shanks' influence on Luffy is still quite large. At the beginning, Luffy was prejudiced against pirates, and Shanks made Luffy change his opinion of pirates. Yes, pirates or marine. It does not mean good or evil. The key is that everything needs to be done with a clear conscience. Just as Luffy was enjoying the comfort brought by the sun and sea breeze, a huge whirlpool suddenly rolled up on the calm sea. Tony Chopper, yay! Red Border Luffy over there has also encountered a whirlpool. Vince Smoke Sanji, is Luffy luck this bad? He went to sea 3 years in advance, but he still couldn't escape the whirlpool. Usopp, this whirlpool is really bad, it's specially ambushed waiting for Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy, wow. This whirlpool is several times larger than the one I came across. Nico Robin, it's not good. There are no big barrels on the Red Border Luffy ship over there. Unlike Luffy on our side, he can get away with the help of a large wooden barrel. Robin's words immediately made everyone notice. Sure enough, although Red Border Luffy's boat is larger than White Border Luffy's ship, Red Border Luffy's ship is used to store water bags, and there is no container to help him escape the whirlpool. Capone Big Straw Hat Luffy over there shouldn't have died just like that. Trafalgar Law, no. The White Border Luffy was fine when he first went to sea, and the strength of the Red Border Luffy over there was so strong, so he wouldn't die like this. Shiki, ha 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 ha. Young man, you don't know anything about the horror of the sea. On the sea, many things have nothing to do with strength. Dracule Mihawk, indeed. It's fine if Luffy is not a Devil Fruit Yuzui, but he has a Devil Fruit ability, and in this case, the chance of survival is slim. Shanks, no. Luffy wouldn't have died so easily. Others may not know it, but Shanks understands that Luffy may really be the faithful man Roger is waiting for. Just before, the comparison broadcast system rewarded Luffy with the awakening of the Luffy's Devil Fruit. The meaning of the awakening of this Devil Fruit is very clear to Shanks. The Chosen One, if he dies so casually, then he is not the Chosen One. The whirlpool is like a behemoth under the sea, opening the huge mouth of the hideous abyss, sucking everything within the scope of the whirlpool towards the mouth. Luffy on the boat was disturbed by this movement, and he stood up. Looking at the scene in front of him, he was a little surprised. He scratched his head. The sea is really mysterious. One moment it was calm, the next moment there was such a big whirlpool. Under the swallowing of the whirlpool, the boat is constantly pulled towards the center of the whirlpool in a circular motion along the turbulent water. It seems that if you want to sail freely on the sea, you must have a partner who knows how to sail. Luffy rubbed his chin and pondered the question seriously. Nami, a partner who understands navigation? Seems like he in need of one. Roronoa Zoro, hey. It's already this late, and he's still thinking about this question. That Luffy over there is just as clueless as our Luffy, huh? Vinsmoke Sanji, of course, they're the same person, so naturally they're both clueless. Monkey D. Luffy, why do I feel like you guys are talking bad about me? Trafalgar Law, indeed, the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates is a bit clueless. Urge, no way, is he really going to be swallowed by the whirlpool? Basil Hawkins, strange, I randomly divined the survival rate of the Red Border Luffy, and it turned out to be 100%. As they watch, Luffy's small boat is about to be completely engulfed by the whirlpool. Luckily, I ate the rubber fruit back then, otherwise I wouldn't have any way to deal with this now. Muttering to himself, Luffy suddenly extends his hands and feet, firmly locking the small boat like 4 ropes. Then he opens his mouth and takes a deep breath. Suddenly, the air on the surface of the sea, just like the Uzumaki below, encounters a vent and rushes into Luffy's mouth. In an instant, his stomach expands dozens of times, and it continues to grow longer and larger at an extremely exaggerated speed. At this moment, Luffy is like a balloon being inflated. Not the kind of round balloon, but more like a sausage-shaped balloon used for shaping. Looking down from the sky to the sea, Luffy and the small boat now seem to be connected to a 100 times larger airbag at the end of the boat. Rubber propeller. With a roar from Luffy, this giant sausage immediately spews out a powerful jet of air. The fierce airflow gushes out of Luffy's mouth, and even his upper and lower lips flutter like red flags in the strong wind. Under this powerful thrust, the small boat instantly gains full power. It goes against the current and quickly escapes from the range of the whirlpool. When this scene appears, the entire chat room falls into silence. Everyone's mouths hang open in astonishment. Their brains freeze, completely filled with the image of that over 200-meter-long giant sausage. Every subscriber brings us closer to more epic novels. Join Infinite Novel today.